In my meditation this morning, I noticed a distinction that I wanted to bring forth this morning. It was a shift in my energy from heavy to light. It was aided by God and my soul spirit guides that I asked for this help because I just felt weighty, and then I asked for my energy, my spirit, my source, my thoughts, my being to become a little lighter. And I asked for that help. And I experienced that shift. And it really was like a graceful, beautiful shift. And I guess I wanted to draw a couple of different concepts in that sound synonymous, that are not the same. So you've got the difference between a heavier and a lighter energy. And then you've also got the difference between a darker and a lighter energy. And I want to make a distinction between the two. A heavier and a lighter energy is a slower and a higher vibration. A slower vibration is going to keep you stuck. It's going to keep you feeling heavy, maybe feeling depressed. And a higher vibration allows you more agility, more pliability in your thought processes, your body, your mind. Now I'm going to draw a very sharp line, and then I'm going to go over to light and dark energy, which is very different between heavy and light. So light and dark are not bad and good. And I've made a bunch of videos that I can link below on that. The dark is not bad. It's simply dark. And probably it's your shadow trying to call your attention to something. And if you don't suppress it and you let it come through, it's going to be a lot healthier than if you squash it, artificially look to the light, and then it's going to come out usually in self-sabotage, or possibly you're going to project it onto someone else. So as dark and light energy come through for you, you need to let that have its say. And again, I'm not equating dark with depression. I'm equating dark with the opposite, with it like shadow, as opposed to bright light. Both are completely necessary. And, I have had people tell me that they think that my channel tends to be a little bit on the dark side. And I don't disagree. But my refutation of that would be, I don't mean dark like gothic, like bad, like heavy. I mean it like, let's investigate those parts of ourselves that make us uncomfortable. Because, and I've said this before too, and I feel so strongly about this, it's what our shame hides in us that is really part of the gift we're supposed to bring forth in the world. It's kind of like your flaws become your gifts. 100% that's true. But the more ashamed you are of something, the flip side is going to be your exact gift that you are supposed to bring forth. And that comes with a lot of kind of studying the light and the dark of your internal self. And that's not comfortable work, because the whole essence of shadow is, when we were younger, we were a little more whole. And then as we grew up in a society, a family, a culture, they say, this is good, that's bad. This is good, that's bad. And so you're rewarded for bringing forward what others say were your attributes. And you were also rewarded for squelching those that aren't as easily lauded or praised. That doesn't mean they're not valuable. Here's a great example. The rebellion in you as a toddler is fucking annoying. But holding on to that sense of rebellion through your life will not just get you through with yourself so intact, but you won't be afraid to be innovative, bring about change, think outside the box, be really creative. So, that same thing that you have kind of been taught since you're young to squelch is really exactly what you're supposed to feed, bring forth, and put back together with your societal accepted light to become whole. And then, as whole as you can be, we're always adding parts to ourselves and always adding light to our shadow. As whole as you can be, that's what comes forth. And people can feel that. They feel that resonance. They're attracted to that radiance because you're leading with the core of you and not just the good or the socially acceptable, is really much more accurate. Because your dark is absolutely just as good, and I would say probably more dynamic. Maybe a little less palatable, but perhaps even more valuable. So, to go back to where I started, I think it's very different to be working on shifting your energy from low vibration to high vibration or heavy to light, as opposed to allowing yourself to sit in your shadow so that your light can burn even brighter because it's even more whole. So those are like, they're not concepts that are foreign to each other, but they're not the same. And I certainly don't deal with them in my own life the same. I am constantly trying to make my vibration higher. Sometimes that slower vibration means I need to slow down and almost hibernate. But in my day-to-day life, I look to raise my vibration because I think it makes me more absorptive and more adaptive. But I also invite my shadow. Because if you don't invite your shadow, she's going to show up anyway. And she deserves a place at the table. So here is what I ask you to look at today. 2 things. Where do you feel like your vibration feels today? Do you feel energized? Do you feel challenged in a good way, like ready to go? Or do you feel like you're walking through molasses? So that's the first question. Where is your tempo of energy inside your body? And then, what's coming up for you? Is it shadow coming forward or light? And a good way like to kind of test this is, are you bringing your, let's say that your vibration is on the low side, right? Your energy feels a little heavy today. Are you now bringing yourself shame because of that? Don't fixate on it. Just notice it. Notice it. Be able to call it out and name it. So those are the 2 questions I ask you to sit with and absorb a little bit today. And I will see you tomorrow.